Okay, Tennessee Titans. I'm interested in talking about this team because I wanted to figure out what happened. Like, I saw Pro Football Focus had Ryan Tannehill having one of the best days of the week here, but also the offense did not do too well. It wasn't terrible, 1.82 points per drive. That was 19th best week one. So it's not like it was a mess, but why did it sort of struggle enough against a defense that we expected to not be too great, and why did that, eventually kind of led to them losing the football game? Well, one thing we saw was I didn't think Derrick Henry was bad, but I thought the offensive line didn't give him as many holes as we're used to seeing Derrick Henry get, and he doesn't need much. But this play is a good example where he's going to be running to the left side of the screen. You see the hole that he's going to want to run through. However, when this play begins, there's really just, Giants did a good job of closing this up, so there's really nowhere Henry can go. Henry tries to bounce it to the outside, but it just wasn't going to be able to work, and they're able to make a tackle. So, again, this stuff happened. Henry was not able to completely just run the game like we have seen him do in the past, but also that's football. It does happen. So, where did the Titans go wrong? Because, again, I want to be clear, the Titans offense was not abysmal. I think the Titans are solid. I think the Titans, they did some things really well, actually. But there was definitely times when I'm like, man, they could use A.J. Brown here. This play is a good example where it's going to be, it's man coverage, cover one man blitz, and you see the route that Ryan Tannehill is going to look towards. This is not a third down and short, and these are really the plays I feel like A.J. Brown really came in handy on. It's just the kind of plays where you need a receiver to just win one-on-one, not win one of these, crossing routes over the middle. Yes, Brown could do that as well, but I think what made Brown great was not only was he great in that system, but he could also just win in man coverage like a play like this. Tannehill takes the snap, and really no one is getting particularly open. He throws to the guy I highlighted, but they were kind of not on the same page, so it just wasn't able to work. And this is just what the Titans, I think, are going to have to figure out. They're going to have to figure out a guy who they can look towards on these specific plays if they're really going to be able to make some noise this season. Perhaps one of those players could be Kyle Phillips, who, he looked very good in the time that we were able to see him play, so that's exciting. Kyle Phillips, the 5th round draft pick, who I'm not sure how many people were saying is going to be a superstar coming out of the draft, which is why he went in round 5, but he looked very good week 1. They targeted him a lot. I think they're expecting him to be a key contributor, and, why not? He looks good. This play is going to be that last play. It's the same defensive concept, so that's what we're looking at right here, and you see that's where Kyle Phillips is on the screen. Right when this play begins, notice that great first step, just to get him wide open right away. I mean, that's fantastic. So, listen, a lot of people will see someone like Kyle Phillips and say, you're just a slot receiver type. Those guys can be especially valuable, and even more so when you have a team like the Titans, where their issue is not lack of receivers who can do certain things well. Treylon Burks, I think, has played his role very well from what we've seen. I thought he came in and did what we wanted to see him do right away. I think, Robert Woods will be able to do a very good job of exactly that as well. What they need is a guy who can beat man coverage, and Kyle Phillips, if he can be that guy, this now makes their receiving core look a lot more complete, and this is just what we have to do with the Titans. Is there's going to be some growing pains. Losing a player like A.J. Brown, who meant so much to your football team, you have to find ways to piece it together, and it's just going to take some time. But look at how, Phillips did get wide open, great throw from Tannehill, and they're able to pick up a big chunk play right there. And so, again, these are the kind of things you hope that can start to work, and once they do, you can then start to say, okay, well, this is going to work a lot better for us, and we'll be a lot more complete. Because, these types of plays are always going to work. This is the Titans special right here. Play action against zone coverage, a receiver running over the middle. Yes, it's nice when A.J. Brown is that guy, but you don't need A.J. Brown to be that guy because, people pay attention to Derrick Henry, so play actions work when he's back there. Ryan Tannehill is great at these timing routes, and all you need is a receiver who can run a decent, solid route here. This is Nick Westbrook Ikeen, who is going to be running this route. A bit of a handful of a name there, but what we're going to see is watch how this play develops. Ryan Tannehill runs the play action, looks down the field, and you can kind of see in between those two Giants players who have circled in black, that's when Tannehill should time this route up. So that's what he does. Perfectly timed route. Good catch as well, and you're able to pick up the first down. The Titans are just always going to be good at this stuff. I have no concern about the Titans being able to consistently get this stuff going. They'll be able to get it going. The only concerns you really have are maybe some other other things. A play like this is an interesting one where it's going to be zone coverage. They have it schemed up to get the halfback open in the flat. This play is going to work, but when Tannehill takes the snap and throws it in that direction, it's just going to be a drop right there. There were a couple of badly timed drops in this game, which I'm just going to assume will fix itself. Drops tend to be pretty fluky. I'm not too concerned about it. But this is why, I feel like Titans teams of years past would have just dominated this Giants team. To be honest, maybe this team would dominate the Giants team in like week 15, and they just need to figure things out because, again, you did lose a key part of your offense. It takes time to fix. Now, the one real concern is not something I saw a ton of, but I saw it a couple of times, and this is just what you have to hope is just sort of a blip on the radar, or maybe just the Giants defense is better than we realize, which is always a possibility. That's the issue with week 1 film studies, is sometimes you say, man, the Titans really struggled to get stuff going against the Giants. That's disappointing. But maybe the Giants are better than we realize. I doubt it, but it's possible. The way this play works is another, relatively simple Titans play where you're in zone coverage, you get players to move in on the play action, and you hope one of those two routes gets open. However, when Tannehill runs this play action and looks down the field, you do see that right here, he could fire one in either of these directions, but I kind of understand why he doesn't want to. None of them are very open, and this is where you miss having an A.J. Brown. And again, maybe you just need someone else to be in there that you have on the roster who will win these routes more consistently. I thought that there was a lack of consistency, which it might just be you have to figure out exactly which guys are the best at these routes in game situations. Because Tannehill instead tries to run here for the first down, which is just not a situation you want to see him doing. Don't do that, Ryan Tannehill. I didn't think that the offensive woes, which again, I'm saying woes, maybe the better term is the mediocrity that we saw this offense have in this game. Maybe, I didn't think any of it was Tannehill's fault. I thought Tannehill was solid. He missed maybe a throw or two. As a whole, I thought he played very well. The receivers have to get open more consistently if this team is going to be able to, recapture the magic they had last year, I think. And they have guys who can do it. I think it's going to come down to just figuring out the right way to place these guys in positions to succeed. And if they can do that, they absolutely have a chance. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Tennessee Titans? What are your thoughts on Kyle Phillips? He played great, right? In his limited playing time, 31 snaps. Let me know all that stuff in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.